Good morning, OWP Galaxy. Welcome all species, ladies and gentlemen, and all beings to our wrestling perspective. That was a bit of a cold click, but it still counted as a click. Yeah, this video is our weekly perspective, episode 17. Well, sorry, our weekly super perspective, episode 17, because we featured a lot more in this and it's a bit later than the other ones. I know. It's like, what's with the delay? Listen, there's no delay. Okay? Alright. This video will be covering our perspective of the whole week of professional wrestling from the 17th of May 2020 all the way up to the 24th of May. Yeah, AEW had their double or nothing. NWA were covering Super Powerrr for this week, even though it was last week. But we're covering it this week so we can make it a super perspective. Let's kick it off.
Let's do this!
Starting with the WWE and their programming for the weekend, it starts off with Monday Night Raw. And what were the 5 points that stuck out to me for Monday Night Raw? Yeah, there was 5 points. Let's see what the points were. First point being, for Monday Night Raw, we're talking about that Edge and Randy Orton one more time at Backlash, but it's a wrestling match because WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. Wrestling. We haven't seen wrestling in a while. We've been feuding over jackets, pot plants, and a whole bunch of such. But this, now, Randy Orton, Edge, one more time. Yeah. Second point being, apparently Seth Rollins has got himself some creative freedom. Yeah, that's 2 words that you really want in the WWE, and the way that he turned around and said another 2 words that was directed towards Rey Mysterio after injuring his eye, saying, "You're welcome." You know what my 2 words are? Thank you. Third point being, for Monday Night Raw, you see how MVPs like TMDK, Shane Thorne, and Brendan Vink is no longer needed, so he's like, share, because he's got Bobby Lashley. If it was anyone to represent Bobby Lashley, I'm still reminiscent of having Leo Rush with him, but MVP with him, and you know what shocked me? How MVP is nearly the same height as him, or probably a bit taller. You know what? I'm not too mad, but I was kind of looking forward to TMDK getting their representation in by the one that's straight balling. Fourth point being, for Monday Night Raw, the real superstar Austin Theory ended up getting a bit of a bashki from Angel Garza and Andrade, and Zelina Vega was the one to order it. You know what? Austin Theory didn't last long in that group, and what happened? He got pushed to the side and just bashed to the side. And fifth and final point for Monday Night Raw, it was very reminiscent to how Murphy joined Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins walked along the side of the ring, saw that Austin Theory was there, put out a hand and said, "You know what to do." With his whole eyes, he's like, "You know what to do." And then what happened? Austin Theory joins the Disciples, the Monday Night Messiah, the one with plenty of nicknames, the Kingslayer, the Architect, but he wants to burn it down, but now he wants to rebuild it. Ow. Now moving straight after the Monday Night Raw, we're moving straight on to the Wednesday Night War. See my hair? I'm just going to let it have bounce, let it have volume. But we're talking about that Wednesday Night War between NXT and AEW. I always say this, you can enjoy all professional wrestling, but some weeks you may have a preference in what you watch. Maybe this week you enjoyed watching AEW, or you may have enjoyed watching NXT. But we do 3 points up against 3 points, what stuck out to us, and let's see who won for us. First point being for NXT. Yeah, we're moving straight on to that black and gold brand. We're going to see a Karrion Kross. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that Karrion Kross or Karrion Kross. They just should have kept Killer Cross. But you know what? Who gives a stuff? Because he's going up against Tommaso Ciampa, the Black Heart of NXT, at NXT TakeOver in your house. And you know what? I'm going to be very happy to watch it in my house. Second point being, for NXT, it looks like the couples are attacking other couples, because you have Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae that wanted to take out Mia Yim. But what happened? Mia Yim's partner in Backstage in Glory came out for the save, and now we're going to see a match with them next week. Couple versus couple. Yeah. Couple on couple action. What? And third and final point, I left this for the third and final point because Drake Maverick shocks the world as he will be entering into the triple threat match to crown the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And I reckon he might be able to shock the world one more time and walk away with the strap, because who's the man? You're the man. He's the man. You know what, I'm kind of very pissed off that they took away that theme from Xavier Woods. Now moving straight on to All Elite Wrestling Dynamite on TNT. What were the 3 points that stuck out to me? First point being, Jon Moxley officially takes out 10 after we see John Silver and Alex Reynolds officially pop up with Brody King again. They were kind of disappearing for a bit and now they're there again. You know what, fantastic. And the way that Jon Moxley's like, I'm not having it, and he ended up destroying 10. Better 10 than versing 7, huh? Second point being,
What year is it?
we're talking about how Jake the Snake Roberts and Double A Arn Anderson ended up having a showdown between them, saying, nah, we're going to do this sit down, and then they nearly got into a scuffle. I would have loved to see Double A lay one more spine buster, but just this time to Jake the Snake Roberts, or at least to his snake. And third and final point for All Elite Wrestling, the chairman is no longer the chairman because Tully Blanchard isn't with him, but what? Because he's now a news reporter, Sean Spears News. This is gimmick infringement, and I'm not having it. I had created a WWE 2K character called Kurt Panaway, and he had Kurt Panaway News. He was a news reporter, he was an anchor, his special weapon was a microphone, alright? And he would be like, coming in now, my fist. Ding-a-ding-a-ding. So who won it for us? And you know what, even there was a bit of gimmick infringement, we're talking about All Elite Wrestling. They did it for us this week. Yes, don't calm down, alright? I know you NXT fans are very angry, but AEW, they're the ones that did it for us, and just the points that they did leading up to Double or Nothing, and Double or Nothing being a great pay-per-view. I know it's a bit biased, I'm just going to leave it here. Let's move on to the next. Now straight after that Wednesday night war, we're moving straight on to NXT UK, to the wrong part. And the memory that stuck out to me for NXT UK memory for this week would have to be when Walter went up against Dave Mastiff for the NXT UK Championship. Sorry, Dave Mastiff went up against Walter for the NXT UK Championship, and what a match that was when two heavy hitters came. And I love the entrance that Dave Mastiff has when he comes and he just stomps the ground and the whole camera shakes. Hold on. So that's how my house wobbles when I step in it. And this moves us straight on to the blue brand Smackdown on Fox. And what were the 5 points that stuck out to me? They just had as many points as Monday Night Raw. And what were the 5? Let me tell you what the 5 were. First point being AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Yes, very throwback to when they had their WrestleMania match, but this time it's also for an Intercontinental Championship tournament type of thing, and it's very reminiscent of the New Japan days when they were fighting over the Intercontinental Championship. Whew, a lot of Intercontinental in there, but AJ, second point, he advances. This is, many times as commentators pumped it through the episode, this is the belt that AJ Styles has eluded in the WWE. Excuse me, where's his Universal? Third point being Charlotte Flair is back on SmackDown. I don't know, I've got to go. Fourth point being for Smackdown on Fox, and that's the Forgotten Sons. They've got all this promo time and the whole how the views don't see the same as the WWE and all that. It's fantastic. Why didn't they do this in NXT? And they're getting more airtime ever since they lost the championship match, so I don't know whether they'll be going up for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships anytime soon, but if they do, with these promos, you can see it happening quick. And fifth and final point, probably the most extreme point, we're talking about Jeff Hardy finally gets one over on the Celtic Warrior Sheamus as he advances in the Intercontinental Championship crowning tournament. You know what? For the 8th time, if Jeff Hardy was to win the Intercontinental belt, fantastic. But the matches that Jeff Hardy's been putting on, seems like the is back, and he's back in full force. Now moving on to NWA Super Powerrr, the program that I had missed covering last week, but we're covering it in this week. And the 3 points that stuck out to me, yeah, the 3 points. First point being Camille finally debuts and shocks the world, just decimates her opponent. And you know what? It was about time after the whole not saying anything and all that It's fantastic that we actually see Camille enter into that women's division and be a legitimate threat and hopefully take that belt very soon. Second point that stuck out to me for NWA Super Powerrr was that match when Team Storm went up against, wait for it, Crimson's former partner in that veteran tag team VOW when they were with Animal or something. How they even did the face paint as well. But Jax Dane was on NWA and he went up against Team Storm, the perfect Storm. This was actually really good. Yeah, I made me pop. I'm like, oh, Jax Dane. And third point being for NWA Super Powerrr, we're talking about that strictly business in Nick Aldis' group, how they officially beat Villain Enterprises in Brody King and Marty Scurll. Yeah, you know what? Even though they pinned Brody King, I can still see Marty Scurll whoop whoop going after Nick Aldis. And I have nothing against how they're making it now, but Marty Scurll is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion? That would be a superpower. We move straight on to Impact Wrestling. And what were the 2 points that stuck out to me for Impact Wrestling? Let's kick it off. First point being, Crazy Steve is now a stable breaker after he defeated 1/3 of OVE. And what happened after that? Madman Fulton went into the ring, grabbed both Chris brothers by the throat and says that he quits, and he ripped off the OVE Cross Gorillas t-shirt that I really like. So it was just a ripped t-shirt. I'm like, I would have enjoyed that t-shirt. But Madman Fulton quitting OVE? People better watch out for him because he's going to be a very strong force. And second point being Mike Elgin, the unbreakable Mike Elgin, defeated the former World Heavyweight Champion of Impact Wrestling to advance in the Impact Wrestling #1 contendership tournament, and that was Elgin beating Sami Callihan. It was a shock to me. I thought Callihan with the whole ICU thing was just going to straight past into the brackets and probably verse Tessa one more time. But you know what? I'm happy because Elgin never really got his World Heavyweight Championship shot and he needs it. Now all of this moves us straight on to All Elite Wrestling. AEW presents Double or Nothing 2020, the pay-per-view that have 7 points for me. Yes, 7 points. What were the 7 points? First point being Brian Cage has debuted within the casino ladder match. I was going to say Battle Royale because they love adding the casinos in, plus the stage was fantastic. But he came out with a new manager, a new theme. His manager was a suplex machine in Taz, and he even has an orange towel. Now you have 2 Terminators in AEW. If I didn't see a mega cage match, I'm going to be pretty pissed. Not only that, we saw Brian Cage officially take down the poker chip, not the briefcase, that he is going to have a future World Heavyweight Championship shot against Jon Moxley at Fyter Fest. So Cage, Moxley, Fyter Fest, AEW World Championship. Yes! Second point being, for All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing, the TNT Championship looks like something I would create on WWE 2K, but the minute I said that, they put through to the commentary table, but the belt isn't finished yet, they have to add gold. Third point being, it was a very emotional time after Mike Tyson not only returns back into the squared circle, but he awarded the TNT Championship to the new champion in Cody. And it was very reminiscent after all the hard work that he's put into All Elite Wrestling. A lot of people have put a lot of hard work into All Elite Wrestling, but the very emotional moment once he had the belt, and it's very reminiscent to when him and his father were both on that network. You know what? I'm very happy for Cody, and there is no doubt in my mind that he's going to be the best mid-card champion they have there. Fourth point being for AEW Double or Nothing. We're talking about Hikaru Shida is the new AEW Women's Champion. And yes, I was really behind that. I wanted Shida to win, and now since she's carrying the Rose Gold Championship, I'm very happy. Nothing against Nyla, it's just I'm not a fan of a Nyla native beast when you have someone with a samurai sword, with a kendo stick, that wants to get stuff done. Fifth point being for All Elite Wrestling Double or Nothing. We see Jon Moxley retain against Brody Lee. You know, this kind of hurt my heart because I wanted to see Brody Lee wear a strap, but I thought the match was too soon anyway, so I knew that Jon Moxley was going to retain, and I'm happy that he retained. But either way, I really enjoyed the match, and Jon Moxley as AEW World Champion just goes on a bit more longer till hopefully when Fyter Fest happens. Wait, no, that's Kenny Omega's one now. So what? Orange Tail? Sixth and final point. Yeah, I said there were 7 points, but I can change up the points. Alright? Sixth and final point. We're talking about the Stadium Stampede, the main event, where Elite finally get a victory over the Inner Circle. And that whole match, even with the Inner Circle coming out with the football jackets, they only needed the mascot and it would have been perfect. Honestly, even the mascot that came and had a bit of a fight with Jericho was very good. The Stadium Lake of Reincarnation that made Jeff Hardy just keep changing, it was right. No one's going to stop a version 1, but maybe just stop doing those versions. But the moment I enjoyed the most when it came to the Stadium Stampede match was when Hangman was chasing Sammy Guevara off a horse, and when Sammy Guevara ended up getting away, he started putting up his hands, and what happened? There was another buggy chasing him. He cannot escape the buggy. Hopefully when he gets an action figure, the buggy's chasing him and they do a whole thing when he's running away. Yeah, I'll buy that. Before we finish off this video, listen, if YouTube isn't the platform that you use when it comes to social media wise, no need to stress, because you can follow us right onto that white bird. And you know what that white bird is? That's Twitter. Yeah, the details are there, and our Twitter handle is at OWP YouTube. Yeah, that was a sneaky one. But if you're not into that white bird because you're like, who uses Twitter? Well, head straight over to Facebook, because on Facebook, we're also just our wrestling perspective, where you can see daily posts and even trivia. Yes, trivia, we do giveaways and everything. We're going to give you what you want. And that's a sneak peek up until the next one. But before we go, we need to say thank you to the whole OWP Galaxy and everyone that's been supporting us. Honestly, it's been a great adventure. Absolutely fantastic. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. Woo! 100, yes. So that still would be 10 times more than anyone that's rocked up to my birthday.